Hey guys, welcome back to Living Vegan. This is Chris here, and today I wanted to just do a short video on um, endurance athletes and sort of the injuries, um, ways to prevent that, and things I've done and I should not have done. So anyway, I woke up yesterday with a little bit of a sore back, low back pain after a pretty hard run on Friday. Things I did this week and shouldn't have, and etc. So anyway, things you do not want to do. Do not want to, if you're a runner, cyclist, whatever your sport is, don't increase it too much at one time. I know that's a golden rule. All of us have done it. So one thing I like to do is just try and bump it up incrementally. So what I did is I went from running, say, let's just make up a number, 20 miles a week to 24. I did my cycling. I increased that up by about another hour a week. So just too much stress on the body, doesn't give it time to adjust, doesn't give the soft tissue time to respond. So therefore you're going to end up with injuries. It happens with people with runner's knee, IT band syndrome, Achilles tendonitis, and it happened to me this week just with some low back pain. What you want to do is, if you're, say, a runner and you're used to running, say, 10 miles a week, if you want to bump it up some, just go up to 11 or 12 that next week. I like 10%. It's a golden rule, but everybody's bodies adjust differently, so whatever your body can tolerate. But if you're not sure what you can tolerate, just try and do that 10% rule. That 1 week 11, stick with that a couple weeks, bump it up maybe another 10%, go up to about 12, etc. Do it slowly. You don't want to be injured, because then that just sets you back, and then when you come back into it, you can be like, oh, I gotta get back to where I was, possibly re-injure it. Things to do once you do have some injuries, of course, some stretching, some ice. Ice is good for most things. You can do ice massage. Just leave ice on for 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. Some people like anti-inflammatories. I try to avoid them. Now, at the beginning of an injury, if you want to use it once, to get it, calm down a little bit, fine. But you don't want to do that long term, because the inflammatory process is actually part of the healing process. So, once or twice, fine, no big deal. But if you continue that, 3 times a day for weeks, you're going to just sort of impede that healing process. So I would advise against that. Other things you can do is you can roll, with a foam roller. That helps if it's like a muscle thing, tight calves, things like that. Just make sure you're stretching after your runs. Those will also help. Once you do have an injury, you're going to need to back off your exercise some. I've had Achilles tendonitis in the past, and I saw a chiropractor who does some soft tissue stuff, and he recommended just continuing my running, but just making sure I'm stretching 3-4 times a day on that calf. Mine was tight calves, so just make sure you're stretching enough. Like on low back pain, I'm gonna lay off for 2 or 3 days, nothing big. Then I'll just sort of ease back into it and see how it feels. But anyway, just things on injuries. Always, always, always just increase slowly. Don't jump into stuff. Even if you're working out at home, you're doing some weights or something, you're not going to go from doing 3 sets of 10 on, let's just say, bench press, to the next week you don't want to do 6 sets of 10. You just want to barely bump that up. So anyway, this will apply to anything: hiking, walking, running. Slow increases and increments there. Anyway, just a quick, pretty common sense video. Any questions, comments, leave them below. And just remember, carbs make us happy.